जोशी जी, कुछ कुछ वार्ता डॉक्टर साहब से किया जाए जब तक कि ये प्रसाद साहब आ जाते हैं। जोशी साहब।
सर, ये मैं आपको बताऊं, आज मेरा थोड़ा हेक्टिक दिन रहा है और मैं चला गया था 2-3 दिनों से मैच देख रहा हूं। यहाँ आपको पता होगा रांची में मैच चल रहा है।
अच्छा।
तो आज 3 दिन से मैं सारा दिन मैच देख रहा हूँ, पूरे एकदम बिल्कुल पहले दिन टॉस होने से लेकर के हर रोज बेल उठाने तक, और आज भी हमने आखिरी ओवर तक देखा है। तो आपको नजर भी आ रहा होगा कि मैं किस हाल में हूँ, और पूरा ये भारत का कैप वैप सब पहन के आया हूँ। तो अभी मैं आया हूँ, अपने घर भी नहीं हूँ, अपने एक बहन है मेरी छोटी, उसके यहाँ आया हूँ, नजदीक में है उसका घर। और यहाँ से ये सारा कुछ करके मैं आप लोगों के लिए सिर्फ आया हूँ, और मेरी इच्छा है कि अगर जल्दी निपट जाए हम लोग सब कुछ अच्छे तरीके से, तो मैं घर निकलूंगा। रात में ड्राइविंग भी थोड़ा चैलेंज है, आप समझ सकते हैं, रांची जैसे जगह में जहाँ लोग ट्रैफिक को थोड़ा सा कम महत्व देते हैं, इससे ज्यादा कहना ठीक नहीं होगा। तो अगर आप लोग सब मिलकर सहयोग करें तो हम लोग समय से स्टार्ट कर दें। 7:08
ठीक है, तो अब स्टार्ट कर ही देते हैं। स्टार्ट कर ही देते हैं।
जैसे जैसे
पल्लव कुमार क्षितिज जी साहब आ गए हैं। पल्लव कुमार क्षितिज जी, आपका स्वागत है। और हम बता दें, डॉक्टर S K मिश्रा आज बताएंगे कि हम रिटायरमेंट के बाद भी कैसे फिट रहें। तो हमारे प्रसाद साहब अभी ज्वाइन करेंगे, और हम चाहेंगे पल्लव क्षितिज साहब, आप डॉक्टर साहब का स्वागत करते हुए उन्हें आमंत्रण दें। डॉक्टर पल्लव क्षितिज जी, हमारे डॉक्टर साहब विशेषज्ञ का स्वागत करते हुए उन्हें बोलने का निमंत्रण दें। पल्लव क्षितिज जी हमारे दिल्ली के कार्यरत बहुत अच्छे अधिकारी हैं, बहुत अच्छे स्पीकर भी हैं। तो पल्लव जी।
सर नमस्कार सर, बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, एक डॉक्टर इस मंच पे हैं। एंड चूंकि मैं क्या बताऊं, मैं डॉक्टरों के बीच में ही घिरा हूं। घर में 5 डॉक्टर, खुद अपने मम्मी पापा से लेकर के मेरा अभी छोटा भाई आज ही पटना फ्लाई किया है। आज इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस जो भारत मंडपम में चल रहा था, जिसमें हमारे राष्ट्रपति इनॉग्रेट किए परसों, वो उस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आया हुआ था। वो सीतामढ़ी से अभी आज शाम की फ्लाइट से पटना टेक ऑफ किया है। तो और एम्स में 5 साल रहने के बाद में बहुत सारी चीज देखने को मिला सर, एंड बहुत अच्छा लगता है जो आप बता रहे हैं। एंड पिछली बार भी मैंने जैसे चर्चा की है कि हेल्थ इज वेल्थ, एंड जो मैं समझा हूं जितना, कि बहुत बड़े बड़े दिग्गज, चूंकि एम्स दिल्ली में सर, और खासकर मेरे टेन्योर में, राइट फ्रॉम हमारे महामहिम अटल बिहारी का दाह संस्कार के से लेकरते हुए 5 कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर को हम लोग अब मेरे आंखों के सामने हम लोग खो दिए। तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जिसको आपसे हमें सुनने का मौका मिलेगा, और बहुत अच्छी बात है। बहुत लोग हैं जो बहुत कुछ चाह के भी नहीं कर पाते हैं, लेकिन वही सिर्फ हमें बोला था। मैं भी जब आया था, एम्स ज्वाइन किया था, तो मेरे न्यूरो सर्जन डॉक्टर सूरी साहब ने बोला कि पल्लव कितना वॉक कर लेते हो। मैं बोला कि सर इतने हेक्टिक शेड्यूल में, बोला कि नहीं बेटा, जब तक एटलीस्ट हाफ एन आवर अपने लिए तो निकालना पड़ेगा। और मैं देखता था कि ओटी से आने के बाद 4 सर्जरी करने के बाद में व्हेन आई कॉल्ड हिम, ही कुडंट पिक माय कॉल। देन मैं नाराज हो गया। मैं बोला कि सर हाउ कम यू हैव नॉट पिक्ड माय कॉल सर, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मैच। बोले बेटा जस्ट ओटी के बाद में मैं जिम चला गया था, आई वाज रनिंग ऑन द ट्रेडमिल। क्या बात कर रहे हैं सर, कल भी आपका ओटी है? बोले कि नहीं, जब तक मैं नहीं दौड़ूंगा और जब मैं अपने आप को नहीं फिट रखूंगा, मैं कल एक भी सर्जरी नहीं कर पाऊंगा। So welcome Mishra Sahab, most welcome to the forum, and I trust that everyone will pay heed to on all your valuable talk sir. आज के डेट में मेरा भी ज्यादा बोस्ट नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन हाँ, मैं सरकारी नौकरी अभी इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस ऑफिसर हूँ, लेकिन जरूर मेरा वॉक जरूर होता है 7:15 से लेकर के 8:20 तक लोधी गार्डन में। चूंकि मैं प्रिविलेज्ड गवर्नमेंट अकोमोडेशंस लोधी कॉलोनी में ही रहता हूं, इसलिए और मैं देखता हूं और मैं सैल्यूट करता हूं। मैं तो देखा कि कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी के ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी ही हिमसेल्फ इज द डॉक्टर अमनदीप गर्ग साहब को मैं देखा इतनी सर्दियों में दौड़ के वो पसीने से लथपथ होके। मैं बोला कि सर आई सैल्यूट यू सर। बोला कि पल्लव बेटा, बस उसके बाद में जब कुर्सी पे बैठनी है तो रात को 9 बजे ही निकलना है, एटलीस्ट ये तो टाइम अपना है। तो अच्छी बात है सर। आई अगेन वेलकम यू टू दिस फोरम एंड मोस्ट वेलकम सर। नमस्कार। नमस्कार।
तो अगर सब लोग तैयार हों तो हम लोग आज का कार्यक्रम शुरू करते हैं।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। प्रसाद साहब भी आ गए हैं हमारे, तो प्रसाद साहब एक और एक हमारे डॉक्टर S भट्ट भी आ गए, डायबिटीज वाले। बहुत सारे लोग आ गए हैं। तो प्रसाद साहब, हम आपका माइक नहीं चल रहा है।
मेरा
माइक नहीं प्रसाद साहब का, AM प्रसाद साहब का।
तो ऐसा हम लोग करते हैं कि स्टार्ट तो करेंगे
बिना वेट किए हुए, आप आगे बढ़े।
जी। तो अभी सारे लोग जो है अगर म्यूट हो जाए तो मेरे लिए थोड़ा आसान होगा, और अपने प्रश्न जो है वो बीच में चैट बॉक्स में डालते जाएं तो मैं देखता रहूंगा। और उसके साथ ही जो है माँ सरस्वती को याद करते हुए हम लोग आज का कार्यक्रम शुरू करते हैं। अगर सब लोग राजी हों तो हम लोग कोई एक भाषा में रहेंगे। सरस्वती की कृपा है, मैं दोनों भाषाओं में कंफर्टेबल हूँ। तो अगर आप लोग कहें तो सिर्फ हिंदी या सिर्फ इंग्लिश, अगर जो कहें। लेकिन अधिकतर लोग ये ऐसे मौकों पे कहते हैं कि नहीं, मिला जुला के कर दीजिए। तो मुझे लगता है कि किसी एक भाषा के साथ ही अन्याय है। So if you all agree, then I can go on with English. I think most of us come from service background and we are quite educated. So if everyone agrees, then with the permission of chair, I'd like to start today's talk on physical health after retirement. Now, this retirement is a very subjective thing, and those who are in service, they only retire. Those who are self-employed, they don't retire. So this brings about various changes. And the first change that happens is we come out of our comfort zone. When we have been working for over 3 decades, most of us have done that in a particular setup, in a particular organization. So once you have to retire or leave the place, you sort of come out of comfort zone. And this will be a little challenge because many of us, we have lived in this situation for a long time, and it so happens that most of us, we are used to having lots of perks in that situation, and this will actually cause sometimes a lot of problem because we suddenly have to face a lot of challenges, right from commuting to getting a letter typed, to getting a ticket booked, or all sorts of things, because most of us have been working at pretty senior level, and these are the perks of the job that we have been having. So that is why I use the leaving the comfort zone, and this is a challenge. So I'll try to divide this topic, which is a very vital topic, into 2 halves. First, how to look after your physical health, and then the mental health. So to keep physically and mentally fit, we have to look after ourselves in a very decent manner, in a very sort of compact manner, so that we live a healthy and happy life in our what we call second innings. That said, physical health is very important. So I would like to start with how to look after your physical health. And this will be a big challenge. I assure you, I do not have any slides, so you have to listen to me and try to understand and see what problems you have. I'd request not to keep your personal problems or personal health issues in this forum. You can personally sort of post them or later talk to me, but raise the issues which are concerned or which are concerning all of us, or something which is of common interest, rather than very personal कि मेरे ठेवने में दर्द है मेरे कमर में. So that is very personal. So let's talk something which is, you understand what I'm trying to say, of everyone's interest. So that said, the first thing that we must look after is care of chronic illnesses. Most of us, in course of time after 40-45 years of age, we suffer from one illness or the other. It could be diabetes, it could be high blood pressure, cardiac problems, joint issues, weakness, so all kinds of things. So caring for the chronic ailments is very important, and for that you need to have quality drugs stocked well in advance, so that, like, we have just overcome the crisis of COVID. And since we were caught unawares, many of my patients, they complained that they had only medicines stock worth 1 month or so, and they were in deep trouble because of lockdown, because they did not have proper stocks of medication. What I need to tell you that you must keep all the medicines that you are regularly taking properly stocked with proper expiry dates and nicely segregated into different boxes or different polythenes, so that you can use them regularly. Then, of course, follow up is also very important. And for follow up, you must visit your treating doctor every month or every 2 months whenever you are called. Not that if you're taking sugar medicines or you're taking blood pressure medicines, you just go on taking for months together, 6 months, 1 year, thinking that the same medicines will be given to you and you'll continue to take that. No, we all are living human beings, and it is important that our body should be checked every now and then, and to see the impact of medications, they are working fine or not. Some new developments have occurred, some new things have come up. So all these things have to be taken care of, which is why you must uh, keep your medicines well stocked, and you must follow up, go to follow up your treating physician or surgeon, whoever it is. Then you must have a health information card. Now, a small card which should carry all the medications that you are taking, major illnesses that you have suffered, a small card wrapped up in a plastic. It should always be carried in your pocket, so that, like, if you're having suddenly low sugar, you just felt dizzy and fell down somewhere, or if nothing, you were just walking and you tripped over a small brick or something, pothole, and you slipped and you fell down, you fell unconscious, then most of the people who have good intentions to help you, they will not know how to handle your situation, because it may be because of your sugar, it may be because of your old
देखिए मेरा
fracture,
वाला
it may be
मेरा
because
वाला है
it may be because of your cardiac issues. So you must take care of your medications or health records, and you must carry them properly in a small abridged manner in a card, neatly water tight, water proofed, so that anyone who looks at it
सुन
and
रही है
immediately makes out, okay, so this could be because of your this could be because of your this, and also the phone number of your treating doctor, so that he can be or she can be contacted immediately, and your treatment could be started easily and fast. We always talk of golden hour. So any such emergency, the first few minutes or first hour is very important, and we do not want to lose out on that hour. So health info card is very important. If you dig a little deep into it, the government of India National Digital Health Mission, they have issued, or they have organized Abha card, and this Abha card is similar to your DigiLocker, where you keep the documents. It is sort of DigiLocker for your health records. This helps in a manner that all your records, previous years, previous operations, previous drugs, or any event, that can be compiled and kept in this Abha card. and this can be immediately checked by treating doctor. Wherever you go, you can just give them the Aadhaar number. It can be opened up and all this. So you need not carry all your old files and records and X-rays and MRIs, and just Aadhaar card can be okay. The Aadhaar number, it will open up all your files just like in DigiLocker, and it is easier for the treating doctor, especially in the emergency situation. Vaccinations as appropriate. In old age, many of the vaccines are required, especially as we grow old. The pneumococcal vaccine, the pneumonia vaccines, sometimes they become very important. Then there are vaccines for various other diseases. I don't want to go into detail. Go and talk to your doctor, and they might tell you what vaccines are important for you. Then we come to health insurance. Please, if you do not have health insurance, try to get one. It is very difficult to get insurance after you grow old or you have developed many of the illnesses, because nobody wants to insure, just like an old car. Old bodies are not insured. There are not many takers for insurance. So see if you can get it early, and if you can organize one. Why I'm saying is, because if you go to a hospital in an emergency situation with a broken hip, now those who are insured, they're immediately put on the is kind of assembly line situation in a hospital. It's become so mechanical and so automated that immediately your blood is tested, your X-ray is taken, your the heart is checked, your ECG is taken, your brain is tested, everything is done, and you're put up for the operation within a couple of days. Contrast that with someone who goes there with 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, then he goes back again and gets some more money, and then he organizes some more. So that way his operation is get delayed, and we all start blaming the hospital and the doctor कि कितना ये लोग बेईमान है और कितना ये लोग निर्दयी है, पैसा नहीं रहने से इलाज नहीं करते, and things like that. See, running a hospital these days has become an industry. There are many overheads, there are many employees to pay for. There's nothing like, good work or Samaritan's job. It is a business, it is an industry. So if you can organize an insurance for yourself, good for you. If you can't, then keep some amount always in fluid account. Please do not fix all your money, which cannot be taken out easily. There should be one account where at least 4-5 lakh of rupees should be instant transferable without any limits, so that you can be the treatment can be started immediately. That said, I come to a very important part: safe living and preventing falls. The World Health Organization has recognized two very important things: the fall and incontinence. Incontinence is inability to hold your urine. That is one problem, both males and females. And fall is taken as a very serious issue in this age for elderly. Now, fall can be mostly because of our unsafe living. When I say unsafe living, we must get many of the things reorganized after we come back to live in the same home, because the age demands that we should look after the areas which can give us slippery floor or tangled wires. The carpet should not be worn out with dogs here at the end where you can just get tripped. The lighting and wiring should be good. Forget about the dim lights. At this age, we must have very bright lights, especially the light that leads you from the living room to the toilet. It should be very bright, possibly along the lower part of the wall, so that you can look on the floor even in the night, and you can go there and use your toilets in the middle of night without falling anywhere. Wiring should be so important that we have in this era electronic gadgets, a lot of them, and those charging wires, cables, and all those things, they always come in the way, and you might trip over them, and it can cause you a fall. Why I'm saying fall? Because once you fall at this age, if it is upper limb, that is okay, that will take 3 months. If it is lower limb, it will take 6 months to get back to normal. And no bones unite at this age. So we'll have to operate on you, put on the steel or titanium plates, and that will take a lot of money, time, and energy and resources, and you'll be back to business only after 6 months if everything goes well, because even the surgeries are not very safe at this age. So there are many complications. So that is why I said that the loose wirings, then fire safety and main switch. Everyone in the household should know where the main switch is. If in case of electrocution or some such unlikely event, then everyone should be able to know where the main switch is so that it can be immediately switched off and the person can be saved. Safe stairs and lifts. Make sure that they are very safe. There should not be anything which can come in the way of your safe landing. Kitchen and bathrooms, they should be quite brightly lit and safely, so that the gas leakage and other, even the electric ovens and all those things are regularly checked by professionals. Not that you just look at it once in a while, clean it up. No, all the wirings and connections so that it should not catch fire. The bathroom should have magnetic doors instead of standard latches or the locking devices, because most of the time we have heart attacks or falls in the bathroom right in the wee hours in the morning. And if it is locked, then the other person living in the household, they have a difficult time breaking open the door of the bathroom. So please ensure that the bathroom doors are magnetic, which can be opened easily. Okay. Then slippers and pajamas. The slippers should be changed like your toothbrushes every 3 months, however good and clean they look, because they lose their value. The slippers lose their friction, the toothbrushes lose their softness. So please, however good they look, discard them and trade them for the new ones so that you don't fall. Likewise, pajamas should not be very low so that you, if you're in the middle of night or even you are hurrying to open the door, even in the daytime, it should not actually come and tangle in your feet and you fall down. Now, then comes the hearing aid, walking aids, and glasses. Now, they should be essential at our age. I'm not saying your age, I'm also in the same age. Why I'm saying it, we'll come to that, but please get your hearing tested. If you need the aids, please go for it. Walking aids also, likewise, glasses also you must change. I'll come to that later on. Safe driving is very important. If you still want to drive, make sure that your car or the vehicle, it should be a car. Please forget the scooters or two-wheelers and stick to your car driving. Do not get adventurous with your bikes now. At this age, please ensure that you drive only car, that too with the safe seat belt, the car's brakes and other things should be in order. Get that serviced every now and then. Cycling, if you want to do, please use the helmet. It is very uncommon in our country to cycle with a helmet on. People will ridicule you, but make sure that you use the proper knee gears and the other wrist gears and the helmet proper before you start cycling. Then you must develop the support system in areas where you live. Now, neighborhood drivers you should have. We always say that you should fight everyone, but before picking up a fight with anyone, ask for his address, and if he or she is your next door neighbor, please fight with someone else, because when you fall down, the next door neighbor is the one who will pick you up and get you into the lift or on the stretcher and get you to the hospital. So please make sure that you do not, I repeat, do not fight with your next door neighbors. Likewise, you should have a list of drivers, because once you have heart attack, you will not be able to drive the car. So you should have a list of drivers neatly pasted on the wall, so bright that one should not look for the glasses to read the numbers. They should be big and bold, typewritten on the wall, the emergency numbers, including the numbers of the drivers. Stretchers, if you can organize in the society, good enough. Ambulance numbers are very important. Government of India have taken initiative, and most of the ambulance, like in Jharkhand, it's 108. And I've personally seen that within 7-8 minutes, they use GPS system. It's been outsourced. And most of the other states, they also have done the same thing. So you can use that number and they actually work. Please remember, instead of calling your friends and relatives to get you to the hospital, please call the number which is specific to your state, and then call the number, get the ambulance, and get to the nearest hospital. There onwards, people can contact others. Emergency numbers and all you should have, and they should be nicely written. This is about safe living. I guess most of us are taking care of this, but if you're not, then this is the time you should look into it and revise. That said, I'll go to now diet and exercises. Now, diet and exercises are very important. And balanced diet, you must have heard since we were class 5 or 6, we heard about balanced diet, and we have been listening about that, reading about that. So now is the time to put it to the practice because we have tortured our body now and again. Most of the time we have done in the office, in the tour, while eating in our younger days. So we have done everything to our body. Now is the time to respect our body, and that is why we must go for good balanced diet. Now the concept has changed. Now we say from grains to greens. So have less of grains and more of greens. I repeat, from grains to greens. Okay. So have most of the green vegetables. Avoid empty calories. Empty calories will kill you. Empty calories, which means the calorie dense materials to eat, like maida, like ice cream, chocolates, they are loaded. They are small in quantity, small in size, but the helpings are loaded with calories. Avoid that because that will give you sudden shoot up of your blood sugar, and that damages all your organs as long as it remains high. Which is why you always say that have a lot of fibers, because fibers will stagger the release of your calories into the system. Whenever normally we eat, it actually kicks off the calories into the blood. The sugar goes up, and that will initiate the process of releasing calories. So if you have a lot of sugar in your blood, it has to be slowed down. So the peak should go gradually upward. It should not go absolutely a spike, which is why the fibers, they allow the calories to be released in the blood slowly. And that is why you must have less of empty calories. Fruits are very good. When we eat normally, it actually kicks up, as I've said, the blood sugar level to a very high. And 2 hours after the normal meal, a whole meal, the blood sugar is the highest. Now, when the blood sugar is high, those you have who are from the scientific background or science, they would understand the importance of free radicals. Now, free radicals, in simple terms, it burns up the body or the different systems. The free radicals are released, and the fruits, fresh fruits, they quench these free radicals, which means if you want to eat fresh fruits, they should be ideally 2 hours after your major meals. I guess I'm clear on that. So 2 hours after your major meals, if you take fresh fruits, a serving of that, then it will quench the free radicals and it will not be able to damage the system or burn up your organs. So that is why the fruits are important. And always remember, whole fruit is always better than the juices. The juices are empty calories again, unless it contains all of the fibers and all the micronutrients. One should not go for the juices. They do not give you much of nutrition importance. For safety, eating safely is very important. You should be able to chew the food properly. It should be chewed properly, give proper time so that again, for the same reason, the sugar should not go up initially and quickly. So if you want to stagger it, chew it slowly. It also helps in proper swallowing. The food pipe and the air pipe, they cross each other here in the throat. So if you're in a hurry or if you're eating and talking, there are chances that food particles might cross the other side. It might go into your lungs. And that is the reason, if you remember in our old days, our ancestors, they always insisted that one must eat in company so that if something goes into your trachea, someone else can attend to your choked throat and it can come out. It can be helped out. But if you're eating alone, then it becomes very difficult. I remember my mother used to say, "Akele khaye to bhoot ke saath khaye." That means there are chances that you become bhoot. So that was one of the saying, but our ancestors were wise, so they thought that okay, eating alone might be difficult for someone. If you are alone at home, please make sure that you keep your door open, have a bottle of or glass of water by your side, and your phone also by your side, so that should something happen, it will happen within seconds. At least while you are choking, even becoming unconscious, your throat will let out a huge loud noise which you will not know. And that noise might attract your neighbors and others who can come. So please leave the door ajar, and also have your phone and other things, or even preferably a call bell or something when you are alone at your home and eating. These are small things, but they go a long way in saving your life. Water intake is again very important. Ideally, it should be 1.5 ml per calorie. So our calorie intake at our age should not be more than 1,500 calories. And if we calculate that way, then it will work out to be about maybe 3 liters of water at best. Calculate it out by yourself, and you'll find out. So the water intake should be around that 1.5 ml per calories. Then again, we talk about exercises and why should we do exercises? Because muscle mass is very important, and it is the most important area. The muscles where in our biceps, in our thighs, all places, these are the places where the glucose burns. And if we do not have muscle mass, then the glucose level will tend to go up. You must have heard that some people who have been healthy all their lives, they suddenly develop diabetes at the age of 70. And it happens mostly because of low muscle mass, which is why we must maintain our muscle. I don't want you to go to the gym at this age, but at least keep walking. जो चलेगा सो बचेगा, जो खड़ा रहेगा भूत उसका नरेटी पकड़ लेगा. Walk. Okay? It also helps again dementia. Your forgetfulness will go away. It also improves your immunity, the ability to fight against minor infections like viral infections, like diarrhea, cough, viral throat. So it also improves your sleep. You get better sleep because you get tired, so you get better sleep. Most of my patients, they come and ask me, Doctor Saab, neend nahi aata. I tell them that, okay, sleep can be purchased in the coins of physical exertion. If you exert yourself physically, then only you can get the sleep. Otherwise, you will not be able to get proper sleep. It also prevents fall because you have good muscles, so muscle strength will allow you to keep standing and it will be maintaining your balance. And apart from that, we have reports all over from coming all over. Colon cancer, heart diseases, and stroke, they are prevented if we have good exercise habits. So please ensure that your heart rate is raised and it kept above 100 to 120 for 30 minutes every day. This is how we define exercise. Your heart rate should be reached. It should be about 80% of your target heart rate. So like your target heart rate is, it should be 220 minus your age. Suppose I'm 60. So 220, 60 minus 220 would be, I guess, 160, is it? So 80% of 160 would be what exactly I told you, about 100 to 110, 115 or something. So we must raise the heart rate to that level and sustain it at that level for at least 30 minutes, 5 days a week, 150 minutes every week. That is the exercise. And during this exercise or walking, the brisk walking, as we say, it should be as brisk as you're trying to catch a train. You should not be able to talk or hum. You should not be able to hum or sing while you're walking, brisk walking. That is the definition of brisk walking. I repeat, talking while walking, that means you need to walk even faster. Your heart rate has not reached that level. But at the same time, I tell you, there are other exercises, if your body permits, walking, jogging, swimming, dancing, games, tennis, whatever. But please do see your doctor, treating doctor, before you do any such adventure. By and large, brisk walking is safe, and we advise everyone to do that. Then, apart from that, there is something called quadriceps drill, shoulders. Now, most of us have this cervical, problems, the spondylitis, because we have worked on table and chair for all our lives, and it becomes very difficult to live afterwards with spondylitis. So, spondylitis is essentially a worn out spine. The spine is worn out, and that is why the wear and tear will press upon certain nerves, and sometimes it can give you dizziness, pain, and all. So for that, the exercise is very simple. If you ask anyone, गर्दन का exercise करते हैं? हाँ करते हैं. कैसे करते हैं? And they tell you like, ऐसे करते हैं. Please, this is exactly what you are not supposed to do, because this will increase your wear and tear of the neck. Then what should you do? You should strengthen the muscles of your neck. Strengthening the muscles of your neck is very important. You must have seen Ramnavami ka jhanda being taken out in the streets. There are lots of strings or cords attached to it, and they actually keep the jhanda straight. Likewise, our head is kept straight because of these muscles. So I'll show you the muscles can be strengthened like this. First, keep it for 10 seconds. Push it from this side, keep it for 10 seconds. Okay? Push it from front, 10 seconds. Push it from behind. So net result should be zero. The neck should remain stationary. We call it static neck exercise. I repeat, static neck exercise. The exercise should keep the neck straight, so that once you do that, you'll feel this muscle strengthening. Same this, same this, same this. And apart from that, there is one exercise for neck where you should just rotate it like this, both of the shoulders, 10 times clockwise, 10 times anti-clockwise. So this is neck exercise. I wish I could show you the quadriceps exercises. I'll try to, give me a second. I'll try to adjust this. I hope it doesn't fall down. Just a moment, okay? Okay. So I'll just show you how we should do the quadriceps exercises. Please watch it carefully. I hope someone can see it. Yeah, looks like yes. So for this muscle is very important. Why it is important? Because we call it anti-gravity muscles. And this muscle is important in getting us up from sitting position. You must have heard our old people, or many of the old people in the family, कहाँ गए भाई, उठाओ हमको, उठाओ. But your muscles should be strong enough. If they are strong, then you should be able to stand up like this without any support. Just see this, like this. How can you build up this muscle? You can build up this muscle very simple. Just lift it up like this, hold it for 10 seconds, and gradually build it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, gradually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As simple as that. And if you can manage, then put both feet together and use the weight of the other limb on this, so that you give more resistance to it. Am I clear? So this quadriceps exercise is very important, so that you can stand up on your own. Those of you who have some athletic background, they can actually do some more exercise on this. And this is a little difficult, but if you can do that. See, this is how. Some people will just sit down and get, no. You go halfway through and then come up. Halfway through, so that you can protect your joint. So you can do that also. And ideally, it should be like this. It should go horizontal, like this. I guess you all can see this. It's not like this. It has to be horizontally forward and backward. This will strengthen your muscles of your leg or the thigh. And these thigh muscles are important because, as I said, they're important for getting up from the sitting posture. Talking of that, alcohol, not more than 10 grams a day. And there is something called sleep hygiene. We just talked about sleep. Many people will have less sleep. We talk about now sleep hygiene, the way we live hygienic living. Sleep hygiene is going to bed exactly at the same time, even if you've gone for a wedding reception or a dinner with your friend, but make sure that you fix up a time exactly at 9:30, 10, 10:30, whatever suits you. But the time should be fixed and you go to bed exactly for that time. Apart from that, the room should be completely dark. Use heavy curtains, no light should come. There should not be any gadgets, nothing. No phone, no laptops, no TV, no nothing. Bedroom is for only sleeping, and the other thing I don't want to pronounce here. No third word there. That is the only way you can ensure a good sleep. So that is sleep hygiene. Okay. Now we come to the red flags. I have compiled a list of things which should make you worried, which should alarm you, which should tell you that not everything is right with your body. First thing is minor ailments. Minor ailments like vomiting, loose motions, when we are young, they can be taken care of the body. But when we grow old, like extremes of age, very small infants or elderly people, they have very narrow margin of electrolytes. Loss of electrolytes is very important. We need sodium and potassium in right quantities in our blood. When we have a lot of vomiting or a lot of loose motions, they tend to go down. That is in the young age. But because we have very little margin or very small buffer stock at the extremes of age, so even one single vomiting can make us unconscious because of low sodium. That is why you must look after yourself. If you have loose motions, even one loose motion should make you alarmed. Then chest pain is another one, breathlessness or chest pain. Do not ignore that. Most of the patients who have heart attacks, they actually do not define it properly or they do not understand it that this is happening. They consider it some kind of gas, but discomfort, we always say that the heart attacks, they take a lot of time before they actually arrive. They announce their presence, their arrival. Only thing is that we tend to ignore. So please do not ignore constant gaseousness or breathlessness or sweating or difficult to talk or something crushing inside the chest. So, see, heart attacks, they do not happen on the left side of heart. They happen only in the movies, Hindi movies particularly. The heart attack pain is everywhere other than chest. If it is in the chest, it is vague all around. If with one finger you can point where the pain in the chest is, it is not heart attack, most likely. But if this is how you describe the pain, ऐसे pain हो रहा है और ऐसे भारी लग रहा है, then that is something alarming. It could be because of heart. Then minor head bumps. Now, why I have kept it here? Because see, the skull is a bone. It doesn't expand. So if you have some small injury here, it swells up. You must have seen anywhere, any injury, it swells up. But in skull, if there is an injury inside, then it doesn't swell up. So what it does, it presses upon itself. And brain is kind of jelly-like structure. So any blood collection, which may happen over a period of a week or 10 days or 15 days or 3 weeks, then it can actually press upon the brain. And the brain, which is straight like this, it may just tilt like this because of this collection of blood. And that might press upon the important sensor areas of the brain, and that may make us unconscious and sometimes dead also. So this minor bump at this age can cause this. Why? Because our brains are snugly fitting inside this skull. The brain is snugly fitting while we are young, but the brain tends to shrink and there is a play inside. And this play might cause shearing of its supply lines. the blood supply mostly they get sheared off, and there is oozing of blood between the brain and the skull. And as I've said, the skull cannot swell, so it remains where it is, and the brain is pushed to the other side. I guess I can't explain it better than this. So any minor bumps also should alarm you. And this bump could be while getting into the car, while getting into the room. You might just bang it against the bathroom wall. So make sure that you avoid such things. And even if you have had it, you must be looked after by others for at least 3 weeks as an observation, so that any such thing happens, you can be immediately taken to the healthcare facility. Then sudden blackouts. Suddenly, if you start feeling dizzy or fall down, falls in general, fits, if it is coming for the first time, it could be because of some problem with the brain. Sometimes it could be cancerous also. Then headache, it could be because of something inside the brain. Altered vision, or sometimes the behavior suddenly, if it becomes very strange, someone who has been very scholarly suddenly starts, using profanities, using foul languages. It could be because of the front lobe of the brain where some problem, some sickness could have been there. So if suddenly someone starts behaving abnormally over a period of weeks or days, then it should be taken seriously. Like women, any lump in the breast which was not there, especially if it is not mobile, it should be mobile all sides. But if it is not mobile, it is hard. When say hard, it should be hard as this. Tip of the nose is sort of firm. But if it is hard, bone like hard, then and it is not mobile, it should be taken seriously. Or if the women they start having bleeding after menopause at the age of 55, 60, long after they have attained the menopause, then that bleeding should not be taken lightly. So it should be brought to the notice of the treating gynecologist. Likewise, altered bowel habits. If you have been releasing your bowels every day at right time, and suddenly over a period of months you realize that the alternating diarrhea and constipation has set in, then that again requires some attention. Sudden diminishing appetite. This again could be because of some ailment inside the stomach. Increasing abdominal girth. If you have been using the trousers, suddenly the trousers started feeling tighter. Your belt becomes smaller for that, and you realize that the abdomen has become wider, the girth has increased. That could be because of some accumulation of fluid inside the abdomen. Likewise, if there are ulcers which fail to heal for months together, you have seen an ulcer which is not healing properly, or if you are vegan and your limbs they have started feeling tingling sensation, then it could be because of some B12 deficiency. So this should be brought to the notice of treating doctor. Then we also encourage people to share experiences after one has gone through a major health issue, like someone who has had a heart attack and he has survived, someone who has had a cancer, survived. So such people, someone who has had knee joint replacement, so such people should form a group through social media or in person. So those things can be shared. Like I did this and I regret I should not have done that. I did this, I should not have done that. So those who are not or who are at least clean from now, they should be benefited by the experience. Like I did this, so I had this heart attack. I did this, so I ruined my kidneys. So likewise, the experience sharing through common forum that should be encouraged. Quitting smoking and alcohol, again, that should be shared with others so that others can be encouraged. And then likewise other major illnesses that I've said. Now at this point, I would like to take a small break of maybe 5 minutes. We are 7:56. Then after that, I'll move to the mental health. So if there are any questions, very relevant and quick questions, if it can be raised through the chat box, I'll be happier so that we can save some time. as I said, I am on my way back to home. So if there are questions, I'd be happy to take them. Thanks for listening to me. If you found it useful, thank you.
Very good information and very beautiful direction you have given, Dr. Saab. So we should be trying our best to follow that. And you have told that walking is necessary, and we'll have to walk. Our old doctor, after my heart attack, has advised me to walk. और आपने सीधा सीधा बोल दिया कि वॉकिंग करिए तो सरवाइव, नहीं तो नहीं. तो ये भी मलिका मालीनाथ काशीनाथ जी, आप इफ यू वांट टू आस्क समथिंग यू कैन आस्क आल्सो. वो मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर जनरल हैं यशोदा के. सो ये डॉक्टर साहब हैज गिवन सो मेनी गुड सजेशंस. So you have to, if you have to ask anything, then we will be requesting our this Ayurved doctor, Dr. S.M. Bhatt ji, and number two homeopath, Dr. Abhinav Prasad. So we will be asking them also. Kashinath ji, you want to say something?
Anyone related to what I just
Call
taught,
call
of
Chetty
common
sahab.
interest, of common interest, which can interest others. Yeah.
Call
Anything
Chetty
related?
sahab.
No, 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 sir. No, sir. Very nicely and to the point, Dr. Sir has guided us. Uh, I think in the next topic, that is also important.
Yeah.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Eager to listen to that, sir.
So,
Prasad
so
sahab,
yeah,
Prasad
yeah.
sahab, Prasad sahab, Prasad sahab, Prasad sahab.
Is okay. Let us.
Okay. Let us go to mental this health point of view. Anything?
Yeah.
Any other persons
Okay.
who
In the
want to
end,
ask?
yeah.
In the end. Okay.
It can be in the
Okay.
chat box,
Okay.
and we can take it up at the end.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
okay. So thank you for listening. Shall I continue with your
Yes, sir.
permission? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So now we come to the mental health after we attain the age of retirement or after we are senior citizens. Now, mental health is again taken in with a pinch of salt, and going kaku or going crazy, pagla gaya hai. So we do not use those words. Now, mental health or mental well-being is taken as importantly as the physical well-being. Mental well-being. So the those who have just retired, they can relate to it. There is a stage, we have defined stages of retirement, and that is stage of euphoria. Before you retire, you suddenly become very euphoric and start talking a lot about retirement. Are bahut ho gaya, bahut kaam kar liya, and all that. Then once you retire, the next day, all the good things spoken on the farewell. In fact, sometimes you feel that, okay, if you have been so good, nobody told you earlier. But then all those things completed, next day onward, suddenly some kind of denial or stage of stress sets in. Then you accept it. Okay, I have retired. And then finally, you settle down. Goodbye tension and welcome pension. So this is the whole four stages of retirement. Now, psychodynamics and challenges of elderly people. First, I said the panic of getting out of comfort zone, lost power, pain, position, perk, these things suddenly you lose out on, and it becomes very difficult to live with. So that is one thing. Then lost identity. Some people who have been attached to their work so closely that it becomes very difficult to live without your position, and suddenly you are nobody overnight, like a fused bulb. So yesterday you were 100-watt bulb, and now you are just lying down with people who have 20 watts, 30 watts, or 50 watts, or 60-watt bulb. So all of them are fuse bulbs and thrown in a corner. So there's a feeling of worthlessness, and then sometimes this leads to depression, and this may go up to by maybe as high as 40%. Then there's a fear also. Sometimes that also happens after retirement. That is called Talion principle. No, you suddenly start fearing that you might be victimized after you've lost your position power by those people against whom you have taken action and things like that. So that is called Talion. That might set in. The fear can set in. Then living at home again can be challenged because you get less importance. You have worked so hard all your life that you have hardly taken pains to look after your children or family, barring a few important things like care of your parents, But surely most of us never remembered how our children did in our schools and in their studies, because they were largely looked after the mothers. So suddenly you come to the picture asking for your importance, then please realize that the whole household has managed without you for so many years. So please do not look for your importance. Now the household will run the same way. Find your own position in the manner that suits you. So it should be more of dependence. Try to understand where you fit in and then try to give help in those areas. Spouses' activities will not be important because they have always, as I said, managed without you. Keep mentally positive, because negativity might cut the life by about 7 to 8%, 7 to 8 years. So it is important that the wife should be positive all the time. Some people will have responsibilities like looking after your still parents, pending tasks like marriage of your children or something. Some people will start working again. Go for it. If you find a good assignment, why not go ahead? And it gives you positive feeling also. Suddenly you realize that your skills are respected and you can actually go and work, and that can be of some use to the organization or society. But make sure that your self-respect is not compromised, because you have worked in a particular environment, and suddenly if you go into different environment where you do not get the same kind of respect, or your things are not identified or recognized properly. So that is up to you to decide. But if you want to render free services, please make sure that nobody is willing to take free services. I realized it after I retired. I tried to give free services to many of the people, and then I realized that nobody was taking it seriously, because I saw many of them, those so-called poor people, they actually took my prescription, went to some other doctor, got 100 tests done, spent thousands of rupees, X-rays, CT scan, and ultimately calling back again to say that आपके दवाई से कुछ फायदा नहीं हुआ, तो हम वहां गए, तब ये करवाया तो उसमें ये निकला, तो उसके बाद से आराम हुआ है. Then I realized that free services have their own problems. So I have now started asking for even a minimal amount, but I charge them so that there is seriousness maintained. So if you want to teach children, poor children, or you want to tutor, or you want to mentor someone, please make sure that if you want commitment from the other side, you must charge a nominal fee in the name of maybe some funds, or helping poor people, or donating to a temple, or fund, relief fund, whatever. But you must charge some money. Please stay away from giving free advice or free services. I've learned it hard way, so that's why I'm telling you. If you opt out of a regular work, then what should you do? Always remember, happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue from inside. So look inwards. Happiness is inward. It is not outward. Make an appointment with yourself. You have ignored your life completely over last 30, 40 years. See what you have missed out on. Go for factory reset. These mobiles, when they start going very slow, what we do? We reset, we format it. It's time that you format yourself. Find a sweet spot. Try to find out what you wanted to do, not what you became by default. You became an engineer, you became a professor, you became but probably as a child you might have wanted to become an artist, a theater artist, a painter, a dancer, and those things remain dormant all your life. It is the time to revive them. If you ask me what I did, I spent about 20,000 rupees on easel, canvas, paints, brushes, and I've started painting. Someday, if you get a chance, I get a chance, I'll show you what I have done. I've painted a lot of them because as a child, I always wanted to do some painting. But in those days, in late 60s, early 70s, if you did any of those things, you would given bad bashing that देखो पढ़ाई लिखाई छोड़ के ये सब करना चाहता है. So try to find out what pleases you. This is a time to identify that. Music, painting, games, photography, tool sets. I know of an engineer who retired and he has kept entire tool set in one of his rooms, and where he does soldering, he makes his own sound boxes, microphones, music systems, whatnot. And he has everything as a workshop. Try to do that. There is something called communication versus connection. We connect with others through mobile phones and social media. And in the process, we have forgotten how to communicate. So we are connected, but we are ill communicated. Please try to see each other in person. Try to meet each other once in a while. Respect each other as persons, not someone who is just hard on the phone every day. Sending a flower every morning saying good morning could be good, but then personally talking and asking how everything is still better, and meeting some of them once a month in a coffee house or in a roadside dhaba is the best, where you can talk. So communication versus connection, this differentiation has to be made. Learn with time. Most of us were born in an era where everything was manual, and we are living in an era where everything is automated. We are living in an era of artificial intelligence. If we do not keep up with the time, then probably we'll be left out. If you want to be social, if you want to be social, then you have to remain relevant, and you should be able to understand how to find things through electronic media, social media, how to make meaningful search, how to look for, how to file e-returns, how to do. Many of my friends I know, they don't even use the digital mode of payments. They still are pulling out the wallet and then paying through. So much for the digital era. Well, the world is doing this and then trying to pay the things for small things like 10 rupees, 50 rupees. But we still are, many of us are away from this. So please uh, acquaint yourself, learn with others how to do that. If you already know, then please help others. Social work. This is very difficult to find social work in this era where everyone is being fed every day. Then it becomes very difficult to motivate someone to work and do things. Still, then, we all are educated people. We must make a target of at least so many people every month. I'll arrange or organize Aadhaar cards who do not have one. Try to go around the place. You don't have to go 100 kilometers to find out such people. In your neighborhood, you'll find out people who still do not have a voter card, who still do not have an Aadhaar card. So please try to find such people and help them how to get that so that they can be included in the system. Many, you'll be wondering, many of them, they are still out of the system. Help them open up the account. We all have domestic helps in our household. Please put your hand here in the chest and tell me how many of us have taken initiative to start a small daily account in nearby post office for such people and pay their monthly remittances into that. Not many. I organized one such account for my maid who works here. And I told her that, okay, all your money will be transferred every month. She has a passbook. She looks at it after renewing it every month and look at the glow at her face that, okay, I have so much in my account. Try to do that. Aadhaar card, birth certificate, death certificate, caste certificate. There are many things that you can help to organize. Volunteer for immunization. Small children who have not got immunization, please try to go to a district hospital nearby, see how immunization is carried on which dates, what times, what are the ages, get the immunization chart, and then try to look around, ask people if their children, they have really got the immunization done. Blood donation camps can be organized. The government says that 18 to 65 years of age is ideal for donating blood. After 65, you should become motivators. Try to motivate young people to organize the blood donation camps. Then likewise, you can be a volunteer in a nearby museum a zoo, art galleries, melas where you can go and tell things to small children or younger generation. Helping or volunteering in sickness is another one. If you live in a society, try to find out through the social media who has fallen sick and requires someone to attend to. Like this age, most of us are two or three of us in the family. It becomes very difficult for one person to be with the patient all the 24 hours. So you can just volunteer for 2 hours in rotation, and that way you can be able to help the person in need. Merely asking कि कुछ होगा तो बोलिएगा, it doesn't help. You straightway ask who is sitting for the night, who is staying with you on the night. Okay, you have been there for 3 nights. Okay, go relax tonight. I'll be with the patient. So this kind of help. So volunteering in the sickness is very important. Mentoring the youth and the kids in the society. I know of a Ranji player. He is a senior citizen now. So he goes and every morning in the basement, he organizes small children and teaches them the catching, the cricket shots, then how to block the balls, how to place the fields. To the extent that if he wants to go and see his children for a month, these children in the society they actually start shouting, "नहीं नहीं 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 अंकल आपको जाना नहीं है." फिर हम लोग का फिर क्या होगा क्लास का? So try to find out what you are good at and then use it for the children around. Then, of course, uh, never go to bed without a proper plan for tomorrow. Don't wake up in the morning thinking what to do today. You should already have a plan in the night for what you are going to do tomorrow morning, whether it is going to the bank or going to the post office or going to see someone, but it should be very well laid out in the morning. There should always be a reason to put on your shoes and shirts and go out for a couple of hours. Now, how you do that, it is up to you. But you should not go to the bed without a proper plan for tomorrow morning. Then, loneliness can cause uh, difficulty in your mental functions. So, try to remain social, meet people as much as possible, talk as much as possible, replace old friends with new ones. And this is now your new job. Try to make friends with new people. This is your job. This is your work. You must do it with sincerity. Earn a few friends. And the friends should be like, investment portfolio. You should have long term friends and short term friends. Short term friends who can go with you in the morning walk or a game of tennis or things like that. And long term friends who are there through your thick and thin. So you should have two sets of friends and you nurture that on a day to day basis. Connect also with your outside age group. So connect with your younger generation as much as possible. Now this is a big challenge because younger children they actually run away seeing you. बूढ़ा आ रहा है माथा खाएगा ये चाट लेगा माथा फिर रोज आ रहा है भागो भागो. Now how you remain relevant, that is what I was trying to do. You must remain relevant and interesting to them, and that can be done only if you remain in touch with whatever is happening around. I hope I am very clear. And for that only, I told you that you should have hearing aids in place, you should have glasses in place. Because if you have to repeat, if someone has to repeat something, nobody will take interest in you. If someone gives you something to read, and if you take a lot of time or you haven't got the glasses and do this, and you don't read it, then people will lose interest in you. Nobody wants to repeat something to some people, and especially older people. They'll say, "ठीक है रहने दीजिए, कोई बात नहीं है." नहीं नहीं ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. So you should have all these things in order so that you remain in system. Otherwise, you'll be left out very easily. Then again, neither get bored or be boring. Both of them are very close. So if you don't want to be boring, then don't get bored. Keep reading, keep informed. Form clubs for reading, for discussions, for nature, for music, for environment. Find like minded people and form clubs. Then again, travel. At this age, traveling becomes more and more challenge. So up to 70, you can comfortably travel, but beyond that, it becomes very difficult because by then you'll have had a lot of health issues and it'll become very difficult to drag your suitcase along or run fast to catch a bus or a train or a plane. So up to 70, please allocate some time every month to travel to nearby places. Ours is a beautiful country. There are hundreds and millions of things to explore and places to explore. Please make a chart of how you do that. You must spend a substantial or sizable amount of your monthly funds on traveling. Then involve yourself in housing society matters. I mean, the society where you're living, involve yourself. If you have been an accountant, please use your skills, give your help. If you're a doctor, an engineer, anything, so you must involve yourself in the society matters. Reduce screen time. It's good to watch TV while it is switched off. The best way to watch TV is without switching it on. That means you must reduce your screen time. You must not see the screen for a long time. There's a lot of things in the world physically to look at rather than looking into the screen. So you must have the digital vacation, as I say, digital time off. That is very important. Then remain mentally engaged. How do you do that? By using the brain effectively, and that can be done only by word games, maths games, Sudoku, crosswords, chess, card game, bridge, online games. There is a study which says that if you learn a new language at this age, your brain becomes sharper still. Try to learn a new language. There are 100 ways to learn a new language. That actually puts your brain to maximum because you can exercise your body by brisk walking. But this needs exercise, and that can be done only by using it more often. Learn to ignore. Do not involve in unnecessary issues. This is no time. As we say, at after 60, there should not be any frown. There should not be any frown on your forehead. Okay? So learn to ignore the issues that do not concern you. Look the other way. Always remember, the God has taken away your eyesight, your hearing on some purpose, so that you ignore unnecessary things, seeing or listening. Understand? So even in the household matters, try to ignore many things where your expert suggestion or advice is not needed. Then again, caring for the spouse is very important because after so many years, you have lived together with the spouse. So caring for the spouse is very important, but far more important is how to live without your spouse. Do not ignore yourself after one of the partners has left. Life is like a train journey. The station comes first, one has to get off, your station will come next, then you'll get off. Till then, you have to continue the journey. So keep looking after yourself, even if you are alone. What I am doing, that is very important. After retirement, I picked up a job with state health government health department. I'm going to a small primary health center where I go there and see about 50, 60 patients every day. They are very poor patients. And I, I, I see them individually. चल के दिखाइए, पीछे मुड़िए, सांस लीजिए, मुंह खोलिए, कान दिखाइए, इधर छू के दिखाइए, हाथ ऊपर कीजिए. I spend at least a minute examining every patient before I scribble off so that my whole idea is to change the face of government healthcare delivery. I know I can't make a great difference, but at least I'm doing my humble efforts into that so that people have some faith in the government healthcare delivery. And you'd be surprised to know that in these 5 years, there have been patients. When I started, we had patients who had hardly anything on them, not even clothes. And I get patients from far off places, 15 kilometers away, coming in cars to contact me for consultation because they heard through someone that in this government healthcare center, good treatment is given. So this is a tribute to my efforts. I don't know how far I'm successful. I thank all of you for having given me a patient hearing, and I'll invite any questions if there are there. 10 minutes are there almost. I'm so thankful to the organizers for having given me a chance to express myself. Thank you. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. And we are lucky enough to get you today. इतना अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस और उतना अच्छा एक्सप्लेनेशन हम लोगों ने अभी तक कभी मतलब उम्मीद नहीं किया था। आपने हर तरह का ये किया। मुन्ना रानी जी कुछ पूछना चाहती हैं। मुन्ना रानी जी, मुन्ना
जी
रानी
बोलिए।
प्रसाद, हाँ बोलिए।
जी बोलिए।
मुन्ना रानी जी क्या पूछना चाह रही हैं आप? आपने हैंड रेज किया है। मुन्ना रानी जी कुछ पूछना चाह रही हैं। शी इज अ ग्रेट मैथमेटिशियन, बहुत अच्छी प्रोफेसर रह चुकी हैं वो।
Oh my, I'm honored.
हाँ
She listened to me. I'm honored.
हाँ हाँ। मुन्ना रानी जी, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? कुछ बोलना चाह रही हैं? नहीं, अच्छा ठीक है। तो ये डॉक्टर एस
सर
एम भट्ट।
सर बहुत अच्छा लगा सर मिश्रा
हाँ
साहब,
जी।
and I salute you seeing your Indian flag on your cheeks, sir. सारे जहां से अच्छा।
I told initially मैं आज 3 दिनों से
नहीं, मैं
वो
थोड़ा
मैच
लेट
देख रहा
ज्वाइन
हूँ।
किया होगा।
नहीं मैं मैच देख रहा हूँ पिछले 3 दिनों से। अभी सीधे स्टेडियम से आ रहा हूँ एक्चुअली। और
अरे ग्रेट सर।
मैं अपनी बहन के यहाँ हूँ अभी, और अभी
अरे
फिर मुझे
वाह।
ड्राइव करके अपने घर जाना है। इसीलिए मैं बार बार कह रहा था कि मुझे जल्दी अगर मुक्त
नहीं
कर दे
नहीं
तो
नहीं,
मैं
बहुत बढ़िया
आराम
सर,
से पहुंच
बहुत
जाऊंगा।
अच्छा लगा,
तो
बहुत
ये
अच्छा लगा।
मैंने जी जी जी
एंड चूंकि हम लोग सब क्रिकेट के दीवाने ही हैं, मैं भी सेंट जेवियर्स कॉलेज रांची से पढ़ा हूँ।
अरे क्या बात है कि मैं भी वहीं से हूँ, मैं भी वहीं से
अरे
हूँ। क्या बात
वाह।
है।
तो
फादर
हाँ,
प्रूस्ट
फादर
माय
प्रूस्ट
प्रिंसिपल।
तो हमारे समय में
या
तो फादर दूसरे फादर थे, लकड़ा साहब
हाँ
थे,
हाँ
एंड अभी
हाँ।
गिलबर्ट डिसूजा वाज देयर, दो
ओके
ही
ओके।
वाज। अभी हमारा आपका गोल्डन जुबली सेलिब्रेशन में आई वाज स्पेशल
जी जी।
इनवाइटेड बाय सेंट जेवियर्स कॉलेज।
ओके
डॉक्टर
ओके।
आनंद सिन्हा सर इज आल्सो सर, ही इज,
हाँ
दोनों
हाँ,
हस्बैंड वाइफ डॉक्टर हैं
सब
रांची
लोग
में
हैं
ही।
वहीं पे। हाँ,
जी जी
जानते हैं हमको।
जी जी जी। तो मैं सबसे पहले उनसे जाके मैं मिला था उनको,
जी
व्हेन आई
जी
लर्नड अबाउट हिम, एंड ही इज एक्सेलेंट, बहुत अच्छा गाना गाते हैं। अच्छा, आपने
जी
जो
जी
बताई सर मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में, इट्स
जी।
एक्सेलेंट मींस नोट फ्रॉम योर साइड, एंड बट थोड़ा सा नॉट ओनली 60+ वाला सर। आज के डेट में तो मैं नप्पा में हूँ सर, डिप्टी डायरेक्टर हूँ नेशनल फार्मास्यूटिकल प्राइसिंग अथॉरिटी में, एंड
जी जी
लास्ट ईयर का हम लोग थेरापेटिक एनालिसिस किए, तो वी फाउंड दैट लास्ट 1 ईयर में जो मेंटल स्ट्रेस एंड मेंटल से रिलेटेड, साइको से रिलेटेड जितनी मेडिसिन थी, उसकी खपत सबसे ज्यादा हुई है।
ज्यादा है।
You must have seen the record and the editorial in the Times of India that 35,000 लोग सुसाइड कर लिए सर, ऑन रिकॉर्ड। ऑफ रिकॉर्ड पता नहीं कितना है। सो
है
इट इज नॉट ओनली 60+ सर, इट्स यंग जनरेशन। अभी परसों मैं
ऑल्सो।
न्यूज़पेपर देख रहा था, ग्रेटर
जी।
नोएडा के सोसाइटी में 12th क्लास का बच्चा इंग्लिश का पेपर दे के आया। वो ठीक है, इंग्लिश का पेपर दिया भैया, जिंदगी का पेपर नहीं दिया है, बट वो छत पे गया, 22वें फ्लोर से ऊपर कूद के सुसाइड कर लिया। these
जी।
these these are really sad
challenges of life, yeah, they
challenges
are
sir।
very challenging।
इसलिए हम लोगों को बड़ा दुख होता है कई बार सुन के और समझ के कि हम लोग इस स्टेज पे भी हम लोग
जी
क्या कर रहे हैं। अभी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को, हमें तो जो बनना था हम लोग तो बन गए,
जी जी जी।
एंड पता नहीं, वो बोलते हैं लाख करे चतुराई कर्म का लेख मिटे न रे भाई। एंड समय से पहले और भाग्य से ज्यादा किसी को कुछ नहीं मिलता है। मेरे टाइम में आपके यहाँ सिर्फ 4 इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज और आईआईटी क्या था। मैं इंटरमीडिएट इन साइंस किया, पीसीएम था मेरा, लेकिन आई केम डाउन टू दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, आई डिड बीए ऑनर्स इकोनॉमिक्स, और आज के डेट में मैं इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस ऑफिसर हूँ।
बढ़िया।
तो कहाँ से कहाँ आप जाते हैं, क्यों आप निराश हो रहे हैं? क्या निराश हुआ जाए वाली स्टोरी सर, रामधारी सिंह दिनकर वाली ये कि न रहो न निराश करो मन को, कुछ काम करो कुछ नाम करो। बहुत अच्छा लगा सर आज का ये, एंड वी विल बी इन टच सर। दो आई डोंट नो वेदर यू आर इन द एलुमनी ग्रुप वाले इसमें है नहीं है, लेकिन आप यू आर डूइंग ग्रेट जॉब।
टू बी इन टच, यस और अगर किन्हीं को कोई सवाल हो कुछ तो पूछ सकते हैं। हम लोग बराबर बोलते हैं कि अगर आपके टॉक के बाद अगर कोई सवाल ना हो तो इसके 2 ही माने होते हैं, या तो आप काफी अच्छे बोले हैं या आप एकदम बिल्कुल मूर्ख हैं आप। तो मैं अपने आप को मूर्ख ही मान के चल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मैं इतना अच्छा तो बोला नहीं मैंने। तो अगर कोई सवाल ना हो तो मैं अपने आप को फिर से रिवाइज करूंगा और फिर कुछ और बेहतर करने की कोशिश करूंगा आगे। और अगर कोई सवाल हो तो मैं जरूर उसके लिए तैयार हूँ।
आलोक प्रसाद जी आए हुए हैं। आलोक प्रसाद जी आप कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे? आलोक प्रसाद जी आप कुछ पूछेंगे? आपका माइक म्यूट है, आपका माइक म्यूट है। अच्छा, ये क्या नाम है, डॉक्टर एस.एम. भट्ट, यू वांट टू ऐड समथिंग? कुछ पूछेंगे? डॉक्टर एस.एम. भट्ट जी आयुर्वेदिक एक्सपर्ट।
ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि अगर कोई सवाल हो तो अभी तो ये तो आप रखेंगे ही, इसको ग्रुप में आप ले लीजिए और बीच में हम लोग उसमें ग्रुप के जरिए एड्रेस कर लेंगे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
अभी तो मुझे लगता है कि 8:30 का हम लोगों का जो टाइम था, वी ऑलमोस्ट रीच्ड इट, सो वी कैन कंक्लूड नाउ एंड आई लुक फॉरवर्ड टू मेनी मोर सच सेशंस। थैंक यू वेरी मच, और आप सब लोगों को फिर से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तो मैं अगर आप लोगों की इजाजत हूँ तो निकलना चाहूंगा, और मुझे जाना है करीब 20-22 किलोमीटर, तो अभी रात के समय थोड़ा ड्राइव करना भी।
ओके सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू वेरी मच
जी, थैंक यू सो मच। यू ऑल हैव बीन अ ग्रेट ऑडियंस। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू सर, हैव अ सेफ ड्राइव सर।
थैंक यू
सर।
ओके। और ये एक डॉक्टर अविनाश,
थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा लगा। और डॉक्टर अविनाश, यू वांट टू से समथिंग? अविनाश, ओके। तो मैं प्रसाद साहब से कहूंगा कि वो सम कर दें। प्रसाद साहब कुछ।
हाँ, मैं सुन रहा हूँ। हाँ, मैं समअप क्या करूं, इसमें समझ में नहीं आता है। बहुत समअप करके ही उन्होंने जो मुख्य बातें हैं उन्हीं को बतलाई है, और बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से उसको क्लासिफाई करके लोगों के सामने प्रस्तुत किया है। कोई शक नहीं है कि हम लोगों को अगर पर्सनल, पहले ही उन्होंने कहा दिया था कि जो पर्सनल इश्यूज को रेज नहीं करना है, और जनरल इश्यूज के बारे में बहुत ही अच्छे प्रैक्टिकल एडवाइस करीब सभी तरह के एलिमेंट्स हैं, उन सभी के बारे में हेल्थ इंफॉर्मेशन कार्ड के बारे में जो बात बताई, बड़ा अच्छा लगा। डिजिटल लॉकर के बात है, इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन के लिए हमें क्या करना चाहिए। वैक्सीन के बारे में तो उन्होंने बताया निमोनिया के वैक्सीन है। सबसे बड़ी अच्छी बात बताई कि समय पर हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस करना चाहिए। बूढ़े होने के बाद इंश्योरेंस मिलेगा नहीं। बाथरूम में क्या प्रिकॉशंस लेने हैं, बेडरूम में क्या प्रिकॉशन लेने हैं वो हमारे जैसे लोग 80 जो क्रॉस कर चुके हैं उनके लिए बहुत ही वैल्यूएबल है। बेडरूम से बाथरूम तक पहुंचने के लिए लगता है कि एक रेलिंग होना चाहिए, रेलिंग पकड़ के जाना चाहिए बाथरूम में। एक्सरसाइजेस के बारे में भी उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी बातें बताई, और डिमेंशिया को कैसे हम लोग थोड़ा दूर रख सकते हैं फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज की वजह से, और हमारी इम्यूनिटी भी बढ़ती है। सोडियम की कमी बहुत जो इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स की कमी हो जाती है वो हम लोग को वी लर्न द हार्ड वे। एक बार हमको किसी ने पूछा कि आप क्या अचार नहीं खाते हैं, घर में अचार नहीं बनता है? हमने कहा क्या बात है भैया, आप इस तरह से पूछ रहे हैं। तो कहा कि अगर अचार खाते रहते तो आपका सोडियम लेवल इतना कम नहीं होता। तो बात तो ठीक है कि सोडियम लेवल का कम हो जाना, हम लोग पहले समझते थे कि नमक नहीं खाना चाहिए, लेकिन ओल्ड एज में मेरे ख्याल है डॉक्टर साहब ने इसको स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया, लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ उन्होंने, उनका कहना ये था कि इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स की पोजीशन मॉनिटर करनी चाहिए।
डॉक्टर S भट्ट जी बताएंगे सोडियम के बारे में, आप भी तो आयुर्वेद डॉक्टर हैं, सोडियम खाना चाहिए या नहीं खाना चाहिए?
सर सोडियम दो तरह का होता है, एक आयोडाइज्ड और एक सेंधा नमक जिसको बोलते हैं बिना आयोडाइज के। तो प्लेन नमक उतना फायदेमंद नहीं है, बल्कि नुकसान ही करता है, हड्डियों को लाता है। तो सेंधा नमक सबसे सेफ है।
बहुत बढ़िया। तो सेंधा नमक हम लोग बहुत दिन से खा रहे हैं।
बताइए सही कि सेंधा नमक में क्या चीज है which makes it more desirable? क्या चीज है वो?
सर आयोडाइज्ड नमक में ये आयोनाइजेशन कर देते हैं साल्ट का, और ऑक्सीडेशन की वजह से फ्री रेडिकल्स के रूप में कोई भी फूड अगर है तो वो डिजायरेबल नहीं है, खास करके ओल्ड एज में। उसकी वजह से डिजेनरेशन स्टार्ट हो जाती है। और जबकि अगर प्लेन नमक खाते हैं तो वो भी फायदेमंद है, लेकिन आयोडाइज्ड नमक बहुत ही खतरनाक है। इसको गवर्नमेंट ने पता नहीं क्यों प्रमोट किया बिना स्टडी के। तो आयोडीन तो नहीं मिला लोगों को, लेकिन नुकसान बहुत हुआ।
अच्छा,
फायदा
तो
क्या
डायबिटीज
कुछ तो फायदा हुआ होगा?
नहीं सर, उसका एक्चुअल में आयोडाइज 3-4 फॉर्म में होते हैं, T3 T4। वो उतनी क्वांटिटी में अवेलेबल नहीं होती है। ग्वाइटर बहुत पहले होते थे आयोडीन की कमी से, तो वो टेस्टिंग हुई कि शायद नमक से दूर हो जाए, लेकिन नमक में इतनी क्वांटिटी खाता नहीं आदमी कि वो आयोडीन अवेलेबल हो बॉडी को, बल्कि जो रिक्वायरमेंट क्वांटिटी है वो ज्यादा है आयोडीन की। तो वो साउथ अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज में एक स्टडी हुई, तो वहां पे आटे में मिला के दिया गया, तो वो भरपाई कर पाया माल न्यूट्रिशन के लिए। नमक वाला तो मुझे कॉन्सेप्ट समझ ही नहीं आता कि क्यों इन्होंने दिया। उससे तो उतनी क्वांटिटी भी नहीं मीट करती जितनी हमें चाहिए। अदरवाइज देखिए बहुत सारे लोगों को थायराइड की वजह से ओबेसिटी है और बहुत सारे हेल्थ इश्यूज है। तो अगर दूर होता तो वो आयोडाइज्ड नमक काफी इफेक्टिव होता उनके लिए।
हेलो, मैं ब्रिजमोहन प्रसाद बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ बोलिए साहब, आप बहुत देरी में आए, बहुत देरी में
देर
आए।
हो गया, असल नहीं लग रहा था सर। ऐसा है ना कि आयोडाइज नमक के बारे ये लोग अंत में बहुत गलत चीज है। आयोडाइज नमक में है क्या कि आयोडीन, क्लोरीन, फ्लोरीन जो भी होता है बहुत हल्के आंच पर इमीडिएट उड़ जाता है सर। अतः जब आप सब्जी में भी देते हैं आयोडाइज नमक तो उसमें आयोडीन नहीं बचता है। लेट मी टेल यू, आयोडीन इज नॉट लेफ्ट आउट, है नहीं? तो इट इज ओनली nuisance of the government and the businessmen that they are just promoting iodized namak. It has got no limit.
Okay, homeopath अविनाश जी हैं, you want to say something? You want to say something? अविनाश जी हैं, अविनाश जी from कोलकाता। तो यही होम्योपैथ से, हाँ बोलिए बोलिए। ये सॉल्ट के बारे में आपका क्या मत है होम्योपैथ में? हाँ बोलिए।
Even in UK and other places, they are taking table salt.
ओके।
अच्छा, एक चीज मुझे पूछना था।
हाँ बोल
तो वो मिश्रा जी जब डॉक्टर साहब नहीं है यहाँ पर, उन्होंने ये बात कही थी कि कॉन्स्टिपेशन कॉन्स्टिपेशन और लूज मोशन both alternatively they are to be taken very seriously. ये बात उन्होंने जो बात कही, उसको थोड़ा सा एम्प्लीफाई करके, उसको क्लैरिफाई करके बताते, डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम इससे क्या इंडिकेशन मिलता है।
हाँ, एस एम भट्ट
जी
साहब
सर
ने
जी सर
अब प्रसाद साहब कुछ पूछ रहे हैं।
हाँ जी सर, पूछिए सर।
हाँ,
आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही, इको कर रही है बहुत।
हाँ, आवाज नहीं आ रही है। और हमारा में चार्ज भी खत्म हो गया है।
आपका इको हो रहा है।
हेलो,
हम हमारा नहीं आ रहा, हम बंद कर दे रहे हैं। सॉरी।
पंप चलाया है कि 10 मिनट बाद यहाँ चलाएगा।